Okay, let's learn about the celiac disease, and it is also called as celiac spur and gluten sensitive enteropathy, which means it is an immune mediated enteropathy against the gluten. So whenever we take gluten, the gluten triggers the immune system so that the intestinal wall is damaged, or there is mainly we can see villus atrophy. We'll know how the pathogenesis goes, and we know the gluten is mainly present in wheat, barley, rye. And next we go to pathogenesis. So whenever we take gluten containing foods, so we know the gluten is a protein. So the luminal enzymes, which are proteases, will degrade the gluten into amino acids and peptides. So there is a specific peptide called as alpha gliadin peptide. So this alpha gliadin peptide from gluten is resistant for further degradation. So whenever there is no degradation, and what it does is it will go and induce the epithelial cells. So when you see here, there is a gluten, and this gets degraded by the proteases to gliadin, a peptide which will go and which can bind to epithelial cells, which get activated. So whenever these get activated, what happens is it releases an interleukin called as interleukin 15. So this interleukin 15 has a capacity to activate the T lymphocytes. That is, these are the CD8 T lymphocytes which are present in the epithelium of the intestine. So what happens is whenever these T lymphocytes get activated, it will show a marker called as NKG2D, that is natural killer marker, and it also has a receptor for MICA, so MICA. So normally in the intestinal epithelium we see these MICA ligands whenever these intestinal cells get stressed or induced. So MICA ligands are shown on the epithelium. So what happens is it will, when T cells get activated, it show receptors for MICA, so that the T cells can go and attach to the MICA. So what happened here is this T cell will go and bind to MICA, that is epithelial cells. When you see here, interleukins will activate T cells will show the receptor for MICA, T cells will attack the MICA containing epithelial cells. So after attacking, it will damage the epithelium. So whenever the epithelium gets damaged, more amount of gliadin can enter into the lamina propria. This is the lamina propria. Whenever the gliadin enters, what happens is tissue transglutaminase is an enzyme which acts on the gliadin, and gliadin gets deamidated. Whenever the deamidated gliadin is formed, it is very immunogenic. It will go to the antigen presenting cells, and it will activate the APCs to release it will activate the T cells. So APCs will activate T cells. T cells will release interferon gamma. This causes the damage to the epithelial cells, and also T cells will also activate the B cells, which is the antibodies like B cell antibodies like anti-gliadin, anti-endomysium, which disturbs the endomysium, and anti-TTG, that is anti-transglutaminase antibodies. So these antibodies are acting against the compounds like gliadin, transglutaminase, and also endothelium. And so what happens is there is a complete inflammatory reaction, destruction of the epithelium. So there is loss of villi. We can see the villi are lost. So whenever villi are lost, so we know if we take these are villi. So villi has more surface area. When a villi is lost, the surface area decreased. So absorption of materials will decrease, like iron absorption and vitamins absorption and fat absorption, and many things get not absorbed. Okay, so when we come here, we'll see where are we. So alpha gliadin will induce the epithelial cells to release interleukin 15, which will epithelial cells to release interleukin 15, which will activate the CD8 lymphocytes, which expresses the NKG2D natural killer cell marker and receptor for MICA. This is important. So these lymphocytes will attack the enterocytes which have MICA ligand, and there is an epithelial damage. So whenever there is a break in epithelium, then more gliadin enters into the lamina propria, which gets deaminated by transglutaminase, and so deaminated gliadin is mainly immunogenic. So it will go and bind to APCs, antigen presenting cells, which will activate CD4 T cells. So whenever CD4 T cells will activate, it can release cytokines which damage the tissue and will get atrophied, and also activate B cells to release antibodies, that is anti-gliadin, anti-endomysium, anti-TTG, that is transglutaminase. So finally there is a tissue damage, villus atrophy. So villi get atrophied by tissue damage, and so whenever villi get atrophied, malabsorption is there as the brush border surface area decreases, and finally malabsorption. So coming to the clinical features, there is a chronic diarrhea as there is an inflammation, and also there is a malabsorption. So there is also bloating and fatigue and anemia due to decreased iron absorption, B12 absorption, and also there is a vitamin malabsorption. These are the clinical features, and thank you for watching. You can note it down if you want.